Welcome to my review of AEW Dynamite, held at Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. The place of so many amazing, great memories over the course of the pandemic era, which we all hold in our heart, and for some people, some of the best AEW had ever produced. And I got a lot of nostalgia watching this. I got verklempt, I got a little tear in my eye here and there, because so many great memories, coming home, taking my mask off, actually being able to breathe free air, and watching wrestling every Wednesday from Daly's Place. But let's just jump right into the action. The first match was Hangman Page versus Claudio Castagnoli in a barn burner. This would have gotten 5 stars if this had been at the Tokyo Dome. This was an insane banger. It should have, that could have headlined that evening. And to think that was the first match, Hangman and Claudio just went at it like crazy. It made me sit there and think to myself, oh my god, Hangman Adam Page, he's he's a former world champion. Because last year, other than his matches with Swerve, he sort of fell off. I hate to admit it. And this was a good reminder that, there's a reason he was picked to be one of the first few world champions of AEW. And Claudio, of course, it's kind of funny because his time in WWE the last couple of years, I kind of forget, this guy's amazing. He was an amazing Ring of Honor wrestler. And there he is, kicking ass. Next up on AEW Dynamite was the 8-man tag. With Orange Cassidy, Dustin Rhodes, Adam Copeland, Preston Vance versus the Gates of Agony, Brian Cage, and Lance Archer. Okay, how can I put this? This is such a... It's a great scenario, but it's getting really irritating seeing the Gates of Agony and Brian Cage and Lance Archer, all four, constantly losing. When they're going to be on your TV that they're going to lose, and that is very irritating. Seeing that Brian Cage is a former world champion over an Impact. The Gates of Agony are an amazing tag team, and in all honesty, it's very irritating to see a tag team of two gentlemen of color constantly get spanked every week. Another thing, Lance Archer, once again, dominant monster over in New Japan. Do we forget when he popped over? I think he showed up on the very last live episode of Dynamite before the pandemic hit, and the crowd was chanting, holy shit, because we were waiting for Lance Archer to debut. And this is what they do with him. This is what you do with your monster that headlined a pay-per-view world championship match. This is what you're going to do with these guys. As much as I'm a big fanboy for AEW, this is one of those times where I question Tony Khan's logic. I don't know. I feel like you could do better with that. It was a fun match still. It was a fun match. Love Orange Cassidy. I'm happy that Preston Vance won. Tribute to Brody Lee. But yeah, that's my guff, that right there. Next up, you had Samoa Joe come out and gave a great promo about, who's going to be next in line. You got to go to the championship committee. No real championship committee. It's just Tony Khan. And out comes Swerve. And you're like, oh, please. We all want a Swerve. We just want Swerve to be world champion. I'm happy that Joe is the champion. I'm kind of like, oh yes, let's make Swerve champion. But we can't make Joe be a transitional champion here. He gotta let it breathe. Let him be champion for a minute, and then make Swerve the champion. That's what we want, and that's what we want now. And Hook came out. Oh yeah, no, Hangman came out too. But come on, Hook came out. That beautiful Batman light up in the air. And he challenges him next week to go along with the whole conversation people had about, hey, he gave Jinder Mahal a championship match, and now they're going to have Jinder Mahal. They're going to have Hook next week. Like, the fans booked this match, in my opinion. Next up was Sammy Guevara versus Absolute Ricky Starks. Barn burner again. This show was amazing. I think they knew they were going to Daly's Place, and they knocked this one out of the park. These two, and I loved Sammy's face when he walked out. He was just, you could see the emotions in his, hit him. And I was reminded today how I wish he would get a new haircut. It's been 5 years, bro. You look like you have a penis head. But great match, though. And like, the ending just totally caught me off guard. Like, I figure Sammy was going to win, but like that was like 1, 2, 3. Like, oh, he won. Like, it felt very sudden, but at the right moment, chef's kiss. The women's 8-man tag between Thunder Rosa, Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale, Anna Jay versus Julie Hart, Sky Blue Saraya, and Ruby Soho. These 8 women, I don't know. I kind of feel like we should just do away with the singles titles in AEW with the women's division and just do nothing but tag team champions, because I feel like AEW, when the women's matches hit, it's usually when it's multiple women. Whether it's a tag team match, 6 woman, 8 woman, like it just works. And I just feel, just go ahead and have a women's tag team titles. Just do it. You have my permission, Tony. Go ahead and do it. Hell, have a women's trios match. Get rid of the TBS. You can keep the women's world championship, but I feel like you're somehow, if you had nothing but tag team matches with women's division, your ratings would soar. The Bounty Hunter, Brian Keith versus Roderick Strong. Another instance where I'm getting kind of annoyed. I know Brian Keith got brought in. He's new. He's fresh. You're not going to expect him to win constantly, but this is another case where I feel like, okay, another POC gentleman is getting spanked week after week. It's getting kind of annoying, guys. Like, I don't think that's the intention. I don't think it's the mindset, but you're making it look that way. Like, Roderick Strong looked great, though. He made Roderick Strong look amazing. Brian Keith still looked amazing in defeat. Good match. The promo afterwards, I'm starting to dig the Undisputed Kingdom. I think they can go places with this. I'm still getting used to Adam Cole being the devil, but we'll live. We'll live. Adam Cole is an amazing wrestler and personality, and they can go places with this. And finally, in the Tornado Tag match between Konosuke Takeshita and Powerhouse Hobbs versus Sting and Darby Allin. Jesus Christ, my heart sunk and I screamed so many times watching this match. I feared for Darby's life at one point. I feared for Sting especially. On a side note, Powerhouse Hobbs looked amazing. Konosuke Takeshita looked great. This is another thing. This is another little problem I have. I feel bad I'm complaining a lot in this, but I'm giving you a truthful, real review in this, and I just kind of feel like Konosuke Takeshita should never be heel. He makes an amazing babyface, and it's getting kind of irritating. I feel like the Don Callis family is doing nothing for these people, and it's only one or two notches above the QTV bullshit they had at one point. And once again, Sting, you don't have to do all these spots. You're giving me a heart attack. You make me feel like I'm going to die watching this. But that was a great match. So happy. And you know what? At the end, what did we get? We got the Young Bucks come out when they asked him who was last match be with. And it's funny because for some reason I just kept feeling like Sting's last match was going to be a singles match. But no, it's not going to be a singles match. It's a tag match. I'm like, duh. He already said before he's not going to do a singles match. And to me, I know people are going to bitch, but it makes total sense to me. It makes total, absolute sense to have the Young Bucks do it. He's friends with the Young Bucks. They're one of the... People are hating on them right now. Did you forget you guys were moist as fuck for them 4 or 5 years ago? The Young Bucks are an amazing tag match, and at one point, they were your favorite tag team, and you were wanting them signed to WWE before they formed AEW. So, pipe down enjoy what's going to happen, because our minds are going to be blown, and I'm just going to call it now. I'm going to call it now that Sting will deliver a super kick. All right, folks, that's it for my review of AEW Dynamite. Feel free to subscribe to Best Scout Machine. Follow me on my other socials. You guys have a good evening, and hopefully see you next time.